It was supposed to be a breakout moment. A 17-year-old wild card from the Philippines, Eala, stepping onto the sun-baked courts of the Miami Open to face a seasoned Polish veteran, Magda Linette. A classic passing the torch narrative. The tennis world was ready to anoint a new star. But hours before the first serve, something else went viral. Not a highlight reel, not an interview, but a single urgent line of text spreading like wildfire through Twitter, Reddit, and Telegram. Eala versus Magda Linette live, Miami Open. Watch free before it's taken down. Thousands clicked. Thousands more shared. The match became the most illegally streamed women's tennis match of the year. And what happened on the court, the tension, the tears, the triumph, was almost completely overshadowed by the silent, invisible war happening off it. This is the story of a rising star, a forgotten veteran, and the pirated link that nearly stole their spotlight. Because when you watch for free before it's taken down, the only thing you really lose is the truth.
The Miami Open is not the US Open. It's not Wimbledon. But in many ways, it's more dangerous. The hard courts are quick. The humidity is a silent killer. And the crowd, a mix of retirees, influencers, and genuine diehards, can turn on you in a single unforced error. For Eala, this was her third WTA main draw appearance. For Magda Linette, it was her 12th. Experience versus hunger. Stability versus chaos. Eala's story is the stuff of sports documentaries. Born in Manila in 2005, she was a prodigy so obvious that by age 13, the Rafael Nadal Academy had come calling. She packed her bags, left her family, and moved to Mallorca. At 15, she won the Australian Open Junior Doubles. At 16, she won the US Open Junior Singles, the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam title of any kind. At 17, she won Roland Garros Juniors. The tennis press crowned her the future of Asian tennis. But the future is a cruel place, because the moment you turn pro, yesterday's headlines mean nothing. Magda Linette knew this better than anyone. Ranked world number 19 at the time of this match, Linette had never been a superstar. She had never won a Grand Slam. She had never even reached the quarterfinals of a major, until the 2023 Australian Open, when at 30 years old, she stunned the world by beating Caroline Garcia and Karolina Pliskova to reach the semifinals. It was a late career renaissance, proof that grit could outlast glamour. But the tour is a machine that chews up veterans and spits them out. By the time Miami arrived, Linette had lost 5 of her last 7 matches. She was tired, she was hurting, and she was facing a teenager with nothing to lose. The contrast at the coin toss was almost comical. Eala, all nervous energy and bouncing legs, her white cap pulled low over her eyes. Linette, stone-faced, her racket bag already unzipped, as if she couldn't wait to get this over with. The chair umpire called play, and then, for the next 2 hours, the world ignored them. Because while the match unfolded on Court 5, a different kind of battle was raging online. Hours before first serve, a user on a popular sports streaming subreddit had posted a link with the exact phrase, Eala versus Magda Linette live, Miami Open. Watch free before it's taken down. The link went to a sketchy website filled with pop-up ads, fake virus-detected warnings, and a video player that never actually worked. But the title was magnetic, free, live, before it's taken down. These were keywords designed to trigger the dopamine rush of getting something for nothing. Within 30 minutes, the post had 5,000 upvotes. Within 2 hours, the link had been shared across 14 different Discord servers. By the time the players walked onto the court, an estimated 200,000 people had clicked, and most of them had seen nothing but malware. From the first game, it was clear this was not going to be a routine victory for Linette. Eala came out swinging with a lefty forehand that kicked high and heavy, the kind of shot that takes years to master. She held serve to love, punctuating the game with a 102-mile-per-hour ace down the tee. The small crowd, mostly Filipino expats waving small flags, erupted. Linette, meanwhile, looked sluggish. Her first serve percentage hovered below 50%. Her footwork, usually her greatest weapon, was a step slow. The veteran was being outplayed by the rookie. But tennis is a game of adjustments, and Magda Linette has spent 15 years learning how to adjust. At 2-1 in the first set, Linette began to target Eala's backhand, the weaker wing of any young lefty. She sliced low, forcing Eala to bend her knees and lift. The rally length stretched. Eala's unforced errors began to climb. A 15-shot rally ended with Eala dumping a backhand into the net, and Linette let out a rare fist pump. She broke serve. The set tilted. Linette closed it out 6-3, and the veteran's experience seemed to have won the day. But the second set belonged to Eala, and this is where the story should have become a legend. Down a set, the 17-year-old did something remarkable. She stopped thinking. She stopped respecting her opponent. She just played. Her forehand, which had been tentative, suddenly became a weapon. She started stepping inside the baseline to take Linette's second serve early, redirecting the ball cross-court with venom. At 2-2, she engineered a breakpoint with a backhand return winner that left Linette frozen. Then, on the breakpoint, Eala hit a drop shot so delicate that the ball bounced twice before Linette could even react. The crowd roared. The Filipino flags waved. Eala was up 3-2, and she never looked back. She won the second set 6-2, and for the first time in the match, Linette looked genuinely rattled. She called for the trainer. She stretched her right shoulder. It was gamesmanship? Maybe, or maybe the 31-year-old body was simply screaming. The third set became a war of attrition. Every game went to deuce. Every point was a marathon, and every rally was punctuated by the sound of 200,000 people watching through a frozen, pixelated, illegal stream. Because here's the cruel irony. While the actual tennis was reaching its peak, Eala saving 4 breakpoints, Linette hitting a running forehand winner that defied physics, the illegal streams were crashing. The free link had been taken down just as promised. Then another link appeared. Then another. Each one more riddled with ads than the last. Fans on Twitter were furious. Why is the stream always buffering at match point? Is it just me, or did the video freeze? Someone please post a working link. The match itself became secondary. The piracy became the story. At 4-4 in the final set, with Linette serving, the moment came. Eala hit a backhand return so deep that Linette could only slice it short. Eala charged the net. Linette tried a lob. It was too low. Eala jumped and smashed an overhead winner so hard that the ball bounced into the third row. Breakpoint, championship point for the teenager. And then the illegal stream died completely. For the next 3 minutes, the tennis world was split. Those in the stadium saw Eala convert the break with a forehand winner, then fall to her knees, then cry into her towel. Those at home saw a spinning wheel of death and a pop-up ad for a free iPhone. Eala had just beaten the world number 19. She had reached the third round of a WTA 1000 event as a 17-year-old wildcard. It was the biggest win of her career, and half her potential fans missed it because they were too busy clicking on links that promised free before it's taken down.
The post-match press conference was surreal. Eala, still red-eyed from crying, was asked about the illegal streaming phenomenon. She looked confused. "I didn't know," she said. "I was just focused on the match." But it's sad, because tennis needs fans, and fans deserve to watch without worrying about viruses or broken links. Linette, gracious in defeat, echoed the sentiment. "I hope people watch legally," she said. "For the sport, for the players. We play for them." The numbers told a depressing story. The official broadcast on Tennis Channel and WTA TV had drawn about 150,000 viewers worldwide. The illegal streams across 17 different websites had drawn over 800,000. The free before it's taken down tactic had worked exactly as designed. It lured in casual fans, trapped them in ad-filled hellscapes, and generated millions of dollars for shady operators who paid nothing for the rights. But the real loss was not financial, it was cultural. Because the narrative of Eala's breakthrough, the first Filipino woman to beat a top 20 player on a big stage, should have been a celebration. Instead, it became a cautionary tale. Sports piracy is not a victimless crime. It steals revenue from tournaments, which trickles down to players. It steals moments from fans who deserve better than buffering screens. And it steals the spotlight from young athletes like Eala, who fought for every point, only to have their victory overshadowed by a blinking red "Live" button. Today, Eala is ranked inside the top 150. She is still the great hope of Philippine tennis. Magda Linette is still grinding, still winning, still losing, still showing up. And the phrase, "watch free before it's taken down," still circulates every single day on every single tennis match. But now you know the truth. That link is not a gift, it is a trap. The real match, the real drama, the real tears, the real triumph happens on the court, not on a pirate stream. And the only way to honor it is to watch it the right way. So the next time you see a red circle and the words "live," ask yourself, what am I really paying for? Because if it's free before it's taken down, it was never yours to begin with.